And we are live. Welcome to FinLit Live. I'm your favorite insurance agent, Darnold Jr., and I started this show because I want to educate people on financial literacy. So this is not a show where I'm just asking experts questions, but this is a show where you get a chance to ask questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat and we'll be happy to answer it. If you're watching this live, go ahead and type in the chat hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead in the chat, type hashtag replay. And I am super excited. If you ever consider starting a franchise, this is definitely a show to tune into. So let's go ahead and get lit. All right, today we have a very, very special guest, Latasha Rutherford. She started a franchise called Kill Me Crazy, and I visit this place, and it is phenomenal. It actually has my favorite dish, and I'm not just saying that. It is really my favorite dish because I became vegan years ago, but then I added chicken back to my diet. But whatever, I had to give up ice cream is the point, and I'm very sad because ice cream definitely was my favorite food. But she has a dish that tastes just like ice cream, so you're definitely gonna have to check it out. But without any further ado, let's just bring her on. Kill Me Crazy, Latasha Rutherford. Hey, Latasha.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I appreciate you
Great,
for taking time out. I know you are swamped today, so I appreciate you for taking time out your schedule to be on the show. How's your day going?
great. I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's just introduce yourself and give us a little background, who you are, where you're from, how long you've been doing what you're doing.
Okay, my name's Latasha Rutherford, as you mentioned before. I am married to my husband, Derek Rutherford. We've been married for 23 years. We have two amazing daughters, Kennedy and Reagan. Kennedy is a sophomore at Texas State. Kennedy's a senior at Texas State. Reagan is a sophomore at University of Kentucky. My husband and I were born and raised in Bay City, Texas. We have been Houstonians for 20 plus years now. I was a pharmaceutical rep before I dived into becoming an entrepreneur. So that's a little bit about myself.
Excellent. So what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
After being in sales for again over 15 years, working in corporate America, I met some amazing people. My husband and I did a little real estate investing. We always knew that we wanted to have a franchise. We were just looking for the right opportunity and a franchise that we could be passionate about. So we searched for many years. One of our main goals, though, was to wait until our daughters were in college and, a little more self-sufficient before
Absolutely.
we dived into such a huge commitment. But we knew that we wanted to have our own business. Um, our Everything will be conducted under the umbrella of Rutherford Dynamics. This is not the only franchise we plan on having. We do plan on having other small businesses, but just I think having an avenue where someone can guide you, give you the footprint of actually what to do. It cuts down on the errors, the mistakes that could come along the way.
Absolutely. So it's just basically a business in a box, right?
Absolutely, it really is. And we chose an amazing, again, franchise where, um, and I'll go ahead and introduce Kill Me Crazy if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Kill Me Crazy is a restaurant that's for people who are passionate um, and very concerned about their eating. It's for anyone who you know you work out or not. It's just an amazing restaurant. But all of our food is organic, non-GMO. Our dressings are made in house. Um, our marinade for our tuna, our poke marinade. I'm sorry, our spicy vegan mayo. All of our dressings again are made in house. Our smoothies are all non-dairy. So again, it's a quick service, quick food. Um, many of our items are from specialty vendors. So, and I always joke and tell my customers, I can attest to what's in the food because I'm doing the grocery shopping.
Nice.
But um, just again, when you come to Kill Me Crazy, once you leave, you know that you've had the highest quality of
That's exciting.
food.
Yeah, when I had the food, it was phenomenal, and I'm definitely
Thank you.
gonna visit it very often.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you
Thank
got
you.
a new customer. Woo woo.
Thank you.
So, well, going through the whole process of being able to start a franchise, I bet that was a whole journey in and of itself. And you were actually trying to start it in the midst of coronavirus. And so you
Yes.
probably had a whole different challenge than the average individual who's starting a franchise.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely. Well, my husband and I, we signed our franchise agreement probably 3 years before we uh, opened our door. And reason being is we knew that Kill Me Crazy had to be in the right location, and it's any business owner, any entrepreneur, know location is key. So we, it took us 9 months to a year to find the right location. We
wow.
did sign our lease probably a week before COVID hit. So, um,
Wow.
so you just, you keep trucking, moving right along and continue with your business planning and, whatever. It was not difficult, but, just your planning, our planning was halted for a little bit, but, here we are.
That's
So,
exciting.
yes.
So what went into looking for the location? You said location is key. Like, what are some of the attributes you look for as far as a viable location?
Well, our the price point for any clean, healthy food is not. You're not going to be able to, pay. Let's just say $5 for a meal. It's just because expensive food is expensive. And so it just. Can you pause me or no?
We're live. It's
Okay,
okay.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
running your own business. We're with business
Yeah,
owners.
yeah, one of my workers having a good time. I'm
You're
so
good. Yeah,
sorry.
that's good. That means
Um,
they enjoy being there.
they are, so I'm sorry about that. He's having a good time in the back. But at any rate, just you know, you want to make sure that you're for us that we were around gyms, like little boutique
Mm,
gyms, um, where people are savvy about just food in general, very savvy about their food. So thankfully, the franchise had a program set up for each area
mm,
of Houston, and this area was one of the top areas. So you look at financials, the economic status of the area, um, gyms, or how many apartments, what the cost of living is in the area. So there are different things that went into play as it relates to finding a location.
excellent. So it sounds like y'all did your research. You really took your time to really pick a location. And
Yes,
by the way, I don't think she mentioned it. She's in the Heights,
yes,
Houston, right next to Snooze AM. And Snooze is a great restaurant too. So you're not in bad
yes,
company. So, and they get a lot of foot
yes.
traffic. So you get a lot of exposure just from being next to such a big box.
Right,
So that's
right, right.
awesome. So
Absolutely.
location is one of the big things for our franchisee.
Right.
What are some of the other things that you look for as far as when you were analyzing the different franchises, as far as obviously you wanted something you're passionate about, but like
Right.
on a practical sense.
Well, I mean, the costs, the startup cost, the entry, what the entry level fee was for us. That was huge because for us we did not want to overspend, but uh, yeah, that the entry level on any franchise is huge. We looked at how the CEO, how
Mm,
successful the CEO had been with his businesses personally, what his portfolio looked like. The other thing was the major, and I think this will be the top um, thing that we considered was how well other franchisees were
mm,
doing. That's huge. in a big city like Houston. So how long did it take the franchisees to um, you know, become for the business to become profitable? So again, we signed our franchise agreement. It was 3 years ago. So we did a lot of talking to other franchisees, really, really honing in on the pros and the cons. Um, so yeah, just all of those things.
That's excellent.
Hmm.
And do they have a huge support system for the franchise owners where y'all have like a chat group or something and be like, oh, this works, this doesn't work, watch out for this?
I have been on one or two calls, and to be honest with you, I just don't have a lot of time right now. Just running the day to day, but we they're a phone call. Everyone's a phone call away. Everyone's a phone call away from corporate to other franchisees. They're literally a phone call
That's excellent. Yeah, it's huge to have that support system because
away. Right,
you don't want to be out there by yourself. Be like, I don't know how to do this.
right.
That's excellent. So,
Mhm.
what was one of the greatest joys of starting the franchise after you started? You've been in business what, about 2 months, a little going on 3 months now.
Yep, 9 weeks Thursday. Thursday made 9 weeks. To be honest with you, when we opened on a Thursday, my daughters walked in on a Friday, I believe it was. So to see my daughters just see to for them to see everything come to pass, and to see the looks on their faces, and but just to for my for our kids to realize that this is literally possible for them,
Hmm.
because we've instilled in them about owning their own business, being entrepreneurs. So again, to see this all come when they walked through the door, I think that was the greatest joy for me. Hmm.
You're a true inspiration indeed. Like I love meeting business owners because it takes a certain tenacity, certain persistence, a certain consistency, certain integrity to run your own business, and you guys have all that. So that's awesome. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, can you hear me now? Hello? Oh, we lost her. The joys of running a business. Guys, not connected. Okay, well, we lost our guest. But she's definitely provided a lot of value so far, as far as making sure you find the right location, making sure you have proper leadership in place, checking with other franchisees of that same business, and making sure they're successful because you don't want to follow somebody that isn't being successful and actually making money. And so she's definitely providing a lot of really powerful value. And the joys of being live is anything can happen, so that's cool. But just to kind of back up, as far as Finlit Live stands for Financial Literacy Live. And when I was growing up, I feel like money was a taboo in our house. And so I really wanted to start a platform where I could pick people's brains from different various financial backgrounds, everything from real estate to franchisees to anything. So we have her back, so I'm going to add her back to the stream.
Yes, I
There
don't
we
know what happened. I'm so sorry.
go. You're good.
So sorry.
Mhm. So, so you mentioned that the greatest joy of starting your franchise was seeing that look on your daughter's face when they
Right.
walked in, and
Yeah, both of
just
my girls.
knowing, helping them know that anything's possible, and just really encouraging
Absolutely.
them to get outside the rat race of working for somebody else and being an employee. And
Right.
running a franchise is not all sunshine and rainbows, right?
No, 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 no,
What do you
no.
feel has been your biggest challenge?
um, um, that's a great question. Great question. I think just we are the first franchise in Houston.
Wow,
So we are building. We're the first Kill Me Crazy in Houston. So we're building the brand. So not only are we a new restaurant, but we're also building the Kill Me Crazy brand. So it's important. I feel it's important for us to be the face of the business to tell our story,
absolutely.
basically. Um, And again, just we're just an average person. Like there's nothing special about us. It's really not. It's just perseverance. But I think it's just, and not that I'm every customer that's walking through, I'm telling them, where we're from, how many kids I have, not that, but the fact that um, the food is healthy, it's
Mhm.
organic, non-GMO. So I think just given a full description, I just think it's very important for us to be here. So the hour spent, but again, we are the first franchise to Houston, and second in Texas, but we are building a brand, and then we're also a new restaurant. So it takes many hours of marketing, making different connections, going to the local gyms, and basically just getting the word out. So that I would say has been, just one of our challenges.
Absolutely. So it's the marketing aspect and the networking aspect.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure you guys are utilizing social media because that's
Yes.
that's where it's at right now.
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely. We are we have a huge presence on social media, but even that, I mean, you look at, okay, how many new followers do we have today? You hope they're in the heights. I mean, you want them to be, of course, from everywhere, but you're like, okay, I hope they're our part of the community. I always say, our neighbors, getting to know our neighbors, but um, yeah, but even that, that takes a lot. That takes a lot. So we try to have different bloggers in, um, people that are well known in the area, so they can post. So hopefully, so it's there are a lot of dynamics and a lot of pieces to all of it.
Keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It
Excellent.
does.
Well, I appreciate you for being on the show. If somebody
You're
wants to come and
welcome.
visit your restaurant and get in contact with you, how can they do that?
So we're at, our IG is Kill Me Crazy HTX. We're on Facebook, Kill Me Crazy Houston Heights. We're located at 718 West 18th Street. Again, Houston in the Heights. We love, love, love to have old customers, new customers. So come see us. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all.
And I vouch for that. I was definitely not disappointed.
Great, great, great.
So, any last words that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, Darnell, I just want to thank you so much, for having me on the show. I think this forum is amazing. Um, it, you know, I just like to leave this with my peers, that it's definitely possible. It takes a lot of work, but it's definitely possible. Whether that's if you want to, not just a franchise, whatever. It takes a lot of hard work, but it's definitely possible. I just encourage you from today, if you're thinking about starting your own business again, whatever that looks like, make sure your credit score, your credit can take you a very long way. Make sure your credit score is in line. Make sure you have some type of relationship with your bank. Um, make sure your network is solid. And that's really three things that I can leave, with anyone. It's definitely possible. Make sure your credit score is in line, and that you've built some type of, that your assets outweigh your liabilities.
Absolutely.
That's very important. But again, try to have some type of relationship, with your bank, and just make sure your network is solid. And I'll elaborate on the network just a tiny bit, but
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
make sure that, when I say your network, that you have friends that are in real estate, because you're going to need somewhere to house your business. Make sure you have a friend that's, and not that they don't necessarily have to be your friend, but make sure there's some type of connection. And just do your homework. Just do your homework. So having a real estate agent, having someone that that's a banker, um, even having a mentor who possibly done something in the lines that are comparable to what you are looking to do is very important. And again, do your research. And that's all I have.
Well, that's fire because that's where the rubber meets the road. If people actually take what you just advised, then they'll go far, far, far in life.
Yes,
So I
awesome.
appreciate you for being on the
You're
show,
so welcome. You're
and
so welcome.
hopefully we could have you on the show at your 1 year anniversary. Be like, hey, how's
Awesome.
it going a year later? Be like, hey.
Sounds good. Sounds
So
great. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I greatly
well, I know you have
appreciate
a
it.
busy day and you're still managing the restaurant, so I hope
Yes.
you have a good one.
Okay. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye
one.
bye.
So if you found any value in that, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Share this with a friend, share this with a family member that is looking to start a franchise. Let's get the word out about Kill Me Crazy because she has the first one here in Houston, and I have a feeling it's not going to be the last. And so let's get the word out there that she exists and she has phenomenal food. And I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are in the world. And I appreciate you for being on the show and let's get lit.